Good Luck Charlie is definitely the most mature show to come from Disney Channel because it feels more like a sitcom and not something made just for 7-year-olds. Everyone seems to love it, and it's actually rare to find a Good Luck Charlie hater. Even with it being named after a baby, none of the episodes ever feel childish. You can watch this show as a kid, but also if you're in your 20s or even later in life. This is probably the only Disney show that competes with Dan Schneider shows. You can still watch Victorious and iCarly as you get older, but Disney doesn't have that option. Literally, the only show you can keep watching as an adult is Good Luck Charlie. A mature show doesn't need sexual jokes or raunchy themes. It just needs to be watchable even for someone in their 30s. Good Luck Charlie is the only show where a reboot actually makes sense, but it's funny if we never get one. Bridget Mendler seems too busy to return, but the show can still make sense without her. They can say she's out of state working or something within that area, but honestly, Bridget Mendler seems so cool that if she saw the show return, she'd probably be willing to make a cameo or play a small role. Something that's appreciated from Good Luck Charlie is that they didn't have magic or superpowers. The only other really successful show to do this was Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, also The Sweet Life on Deck. But one show took place in a hotel and the other on a boat, so without magic and superpowers, they still had a gimmick. But Good Luck Charlie, on the other hand, didn't have a gimmick. The video diaries shouldn't be considered a gimmick because it took up less than 5 minutes, and there was only one episode where the whole 30 minutes was based around the video diaries. The idea of this show sounds boring on paper. A show about a family that's a bit dysfunctional, and the oldest sister makes video diaries to give advice to her youngest sibling. But the success Good Luck Charlie garnered definitely shut up anyone who doubted the show. Jason Dolly and Bridget Mendler were already known in the Disney Channel universe, and that must have really helped, but people instantly fell in love with everyone in the Duncan family. People even began loving the other characters in the show. Mrs. Dabney, Emmett, Ivy, and even Spencer before they had him cheat on Teddy. The hate for Toby's character is very unnecessary. There was no point in adding him, but he also doesn't ruin the show. He was just there being his adorable self, and the times there was a plot based on him, it was actually entertaining. Eric Allen Kramer is the actor that plays Bob Duncan and has said that if Good Luck Charlie wasn't on Disney Channel, then the show would have lasted longer than 4 seasons. I agree with this statement, but I also understand why Good Luck Charlie ended when it did. Teddy was going off to college, so it felt like the right moment to end the show. Disney was also probably afraid to keep the show going without Teddy, because they probably thought the viewership would drastically go down without Bridget Mendler. Everyone has their own favorite couple from the show, but a great couple was Gabe with Lauren. They would constantly play with the idea of Gabe having a girlfriend. For example, Gabe and Joe seemed like they were going to date, but they never did. Seeing Gabe finally get an official girlfriend was pleasant to see, and the writers making his girlfriend be related to Mrs. Dabney was a good idea. It's hard to find something wrong with Good Luck Charlie. The worst thing is Amy Duncan being self-centered, but she still manages to be a good mother. If the show were to ever get picked up again, hopefully they lean even more into a sitcom and not a kids show.